In today's video, guys, we are going to be going over the new best controller settings here in Modern Warfare 3 after the recent update. Now, in this video, I have a few things that I've changed from my previous video that is guaranteed to help you guys. So if you're trying to get your first MGB nuke, your first 100-kill game, or even get more accurate, this video should help. So if you guys are new here and find this video to help, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and let's get into it. Maybe you're new to the channel, maybe you're new to this video, don't know if you can trust my builds or my settings. Here are my stats I have currently here in Modern Warfare 3. Out of 64,000 kills, I do have a 7 KD. I have a 3 win-loss. My highest kill streak without dying is 98, and my highest kill game currently is 246. Just to show you guys that I am a really good player here in Modern Warfare 3. And also, if you want to see the accuracy out of my guns here, as you guys see here, my ACR has a 41%. I have a 41% on my Holger, and most of my weapons are about the 30, high 30s, 40%. So you guys can trust here with my builds and settings. Now, actually jumping into my settings, guys, we are going to start with our controller settings, which is the most important thing. But like I say in my videos, guys, we're only going to go over things that we need to change. There's no need to make this video super long. And for the first thing that we're going to be changing here, guys, is going to be the controller vibration. And like I say in my videos, believe it or not, the smallest things here in Call of Duty can make you have bad aim, lose your gunfights, not be the best player. And I guarantee these things that we're going to be changing here is going to change that for you guys. So the first thing, like I said, is the controller vibration, and we're going to turn this off. You know, getting into those gunfights, a grenade explodes, you shooting your gun, a door getting bashed open, or even streaks hitting the ground is going to make your controller spaz out like crazy. Now, that might be one of the main reasons why you don't have the best aim. You're losing those gunfights with controller vibration on. So we are going to be turning this off for the first thing here in our settings. Now, jumping down to the dead zone input, this is also very important. Now, with my settings here, while copying down while I talk here, this is one thing that's going to make your controller healthier. It's not making it run down, not be, as good as it was. Making your controller more sensitive is going to help you, and also your controller lasts longer and everything. And if you guys want to know what controller I am using, I do have a custom-made controller from AIM Controllers. If you are looking for a new controller and anything and want to go check them out, I will leave that in the description or in the pinned comment so you can go check them out. And if you do buy a controller, you can use my code Paradox for 5% off on your controller. Super cheap, very viable, and they're some of the best controllers in the market as of right now. Now, getting into our aiming settings here, we're going to start with our sensitivity for our horizontal and vertical. Now, I have mine at 8.8. Now, I did go up by 1, which in my last settings video, I talked about a 7.7. Now, 8.8, there's not too much of a difference. It's a tiny bit faster, but again, it's not too fast. It's not too slow. Just still kind of in the middle. It is really good. I mean, I don't recommend going anything below a 5. Also, I don't recommend doing a 20/20. I mean, there's really no point. You don't need to be flashy and everything. If you're trying to prove a point, that's cool, I guess. But 8.8, you're still going to be very accurate. Just again, not too slow, not too fast. So I do like 8.8 a lot. ADS sensitivity multiplier, this is pretty important as well. Now, since I went up on my sensitivity, I'm going to go down on my ADS sensitivity multiplier, which mine from my last video was a 0.95. I dropped it down to a 0.90. Now, again, you're aiming down sights. It's moving a lot more slower, but it's also easier to track targets, be a little bit more accurate while, looking at your targets and everything. I do like it a lot, so I wouldn't go down below a 0.90, but again, 0.95, 0.90, 1.00, stay between those three. I wouldn't go any lower than this. Now, we do have our aim response curve type. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on why you should run it, but dynamic is going to be the best option out of these three. This is what pro players use, and again, I mean, this is the best thing that you can use here out of the aim response curve type. Maybe you're running standard, maybe you're running linear. Change it to dynamic. Again, it might take a day or two to get used to it because changing crazy settings, I know, can get difficult. You just got to get used to it, and it will help you out a lot, so we are going to be adding this on. Now, going down to our aim assist. Now, target aim assist, have it on if you're a controller player. If you have this on off, playing on controller, I don't know if you're trying to prove a point or you don't need aim assist or whatnot. But if you're just trying to be better, just don't want aim assist. I mean, again, there's no points trying to be proven here. Just get better with your aim. Target assist aim, you want to have it on, of course. And then for my aim assist type, I do have on default. Black Ops used to be really good, but they did nerf it last year crazy amounts. So I did go back to default. I don't really see a difference out of Black Ops or default. If you're still on Black Ops from last year, just keep it on Black Ops. But I feel like default is the better option out of that one. I don't recommend precision. Don't recommend focusing. They're not good at all. Default or Black Ops are really the good choices here. Now we have our gameplay settings, and I will say some of these things that I've changed here has definitely helped me be more aggressive, you know, compared to that 3 years, 4 years ago to the last 2 years. You know, if you watch gameplays from then to now, you definitely can see how more aggressive I've been having this thing on, which is automatic attack sprint. So you're not going to have that light jog anymore. You're not going to be running unless your, you know, stamina's out, since you can't attack sprint with no stamina. But if you have stamina fully barred up and everything, you do have a better run, so it's much faster and everything. Especially having the infantry vest on, you're moving more faster in those attack sprints, and also you have the lightweight boots on that makes you move a lot faster. You're getting into more engagements, getting those high kill games, having more control of the map, getting around much faster, which is awesome. So we are going to be having this on. Now we have our tactical sprint behavior, which I have mine on single tap sprint. Now this is actually G8 in the competitive scene, and you know, making your controller again more sensitive and everything, so you barely have to tap your controller up to start running. It is going to help out a lot, so make sure you have on your single tap sprint and your automatic tactical sprint, which can help you move a lot faster and again help you be more aggressive. Now the slide dive behavior we have on our slide only. Now here in multiplayer, the only thing that you should have on is slide. You don't need to dive. You know, last year the movement meta was diving, which we didn't have crazy movement speeds or anything, but here in Modern Warfare 3, you know, slide canceling's back. You know, you want to slide, don't really want to dive and everything. So changes on slide only. You're only going to be sliding, which is going to come in clutch. Slide canceling, move fast around the map, especially having tac sprint on. Again, getting into those high kill games, moving more faster and everything. That's what we want. Now, the next thing that we're going to be changing here actually is new, and this is for akimbo weapons, and believe it or not, that's the akimbo behavior, which, you know, you have independent where you shoot both of your triggers at the same time, and you shoot your pistols or whatever you're running akimbo, but actually having them on paired, you shoot one button, and they shoot both at the same time, so you don't have to spam left and right triggers. You can only spam one now, which is going to help out a lot. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about here, guys, is going to be our field of view, our view graphic settings. Now, I'm not going to go over the display or quality just because people have different PCs, high end, low end, so everyone has different settings, which if you really want to know, I run basically everything on low. That's all I do. But we're only going to talk about our view department here just because it's what only console players see. And for the first thing that we're going to be talking about, guys, is going to be the field of view, which I have mine at 117. Now, I see people talk about it all the time on Twitter, pro players and everything on their streams. Having it 120 actually hurts. Now, I just recently just figured this out. You know, it does cause a little bit of input delay, so I did move it down to 120 to 117. There's really not much of a difference in 3 clicks, so there's not really much of a difference, so make sure to have that on. Now, for the ADS field of view, I have mine on affected. Now, I wouldn't recommend independent just because when you're in your gunfights, you aim down sights, getting ready to go into your gunfights, you actually zoom more in, so that transition could mess you up a little bit. Affected, it's not going to mess that up. It's not going to zoom in, and also having affected on might actually help you have less visual recoil, which I've talked about in a bunch of my settings videos, in gameplays, in builds and everything, and on stream. So having affected on is going to help out a lot. Now, for your weapon field of view, we have it on wide. This is going to make the weapon feel much smaller, so again, we're not going to have as much visual recoil. And also, you know, when people have said it looks like you have zero recoil at all, you know, of course the builds are going to help, but also making the weapon more smaller and the affected everything also makes it look like you have zero recoil at all. So having these on is going to definitely help out a lot. Now, for the camera, make sure to have these on. For the world motion blur, have on off. We don't want any blurriness. Again, you know, weapon motion blur, we want to have it on off. The film grain, we have it at 0.0. You don't want any film grain. And then for the first person field of view camera movement, we want to have it on 50%. Now, this is something I've copied down from like movement players, people that move crazy, shots and everything. This is going to make it just not as crazy. You know, the camera shakes and everything isn't as crazy. So again, we are going to put this at 50%. Now, we're going to skip our audio settings. We're going to put that the last part of the video and talk about our interface settings, which the first thing, which I think is very helpful, and this is a color customization. We're going to skip this part and go down to the color filter settings. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about here is the color filter, which is at filter 2. Now, if you see how I change these, the none filter, you know, the red enemy color looks a little bit more pinkish and everything. We don't want that. Look a little bit more darker. Filter 2 is going to make it orange, so if you're colorblind or anything, that's going to change that. Filter 2 is actually going to make it more vibrant. As you guys see here in the red, it's a lot more brighter and everything. And then filter 3, again, is going to make it more pink. Depending if you're colorblind or not, it's going to help out a lot. But filter 2 is actually going to make the game, the mini map, and when you're aiming down sights and looking at your targets more vibrant and everything, which is going to help you out. And make sure you have your color filter target on both. Your color intensity at world is at 80, and your interface color intensity is at 100, max out on the bottom. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is going to be the mini-map shape. I hoped everyone's running square. If you guys have been watching the settings video, which of course, you know, people are new to the channel and everything, so I can't pick on y'all. Make sure you have y'all's mini-map shape on square. If you have it on circle, you're playing this game wrong, and just in general Call of Duty wrong. And as you guys see here in the different maps, you know, the circle and square is both in the same spots of the map, and also you can see how much the difference on the coverage you're seeing on the square to circle. You call an advanced UAV in, you're seeing where people spawn in, same with UAVs, advanced UAVs. On the circle map, you're really not going to be able to know and how to learn spawns through that way. So that is one of the main reasons why having square on, you call an advanced UAV, and you can slowly start learning how to play spawns, learning where spawns are. It is going to help out a lot. Now, we are going to turn off our horizontal compass. For me, it does bother me a lot having this on. I don't like it. You know, red dots start popping up. I really can't read where it's at. I don't like it a lot, so I'm going to have this off. If it doesn't bother you, just go ahead and keep it on. For our crosshairs, I put this on static, and we're going to put it on center dot, and we're going to have it on, and we're going to put our center dot scale on larger. As you guys see here, there's different ones. We have a small one, a little bit larger one, and we have a huge one. So I have mine on larger. I don't want it on a big circle one. It will kind of throw me off a little bit, so we don't want to have that on. And then the last thing that we're going to be talking about here in the interface is going to be the player's name, which I have mine on full name. And believe it or not, having this on full name, you can see their clan tag, their whole name. Abbreviated is only going to show their gamer tag, and then the icon only, I believe, only shows you what level they are or prestige they are. I'm not really sure, but having this on, you know, the longer the name, the longer the clan tag, is actually giving you more an advantage if you're going against someone that has a crazy long name, because of course, with the filter that we have on in our color customization, it's a bright red, so you're going to stick out like a sore thumb if someone accidentally aims on you. And then we're going to go into our audio settings, which the only thing that we're going to be changing is our audio mix, which I have mine on headphone bass boost, which I do run headphones, which I do run the Astro A40s, which if you guys want to let me know in the comment section what kind of Astros or whatever headset you run, and also what controller do you guys run. And then we're going to put our speaker output, and we're going to put it on stereo, so it makes it a little bit more louder. But these are my new settings I've been running here after the recent update. They definitely have helped me improve, so if you've watched all the way through, let me know some things that you've changed, and also let me know if any of these things have helped you. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys for watching. You guys stay safe and warm, and I'll see you on the next one.